Welcome back to the Premier League Verdict, the one series on YouTube that has more hype surrounding it than Spider-Man No Way Home. Don't know what I'm talking about, it's just not true, is it? Just look at him. Look at him. Hello guys, how are we getting on? My name is Aaron Kelly and welcome back to another episode of the Premier League Verdict. I hope you guys are having a good day. If you're not, I hope you'll get your daily dose of joy from a man who has the just cringiest jokes in the world and zero knowledge of ball. You're welcome. Before we get into anything, before we get into our boxes as usual, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to ask you to subscribe to the Aaron Kelly channel if you've not done so. We're just over 30 subscribers away from 500 subscribers on the channel. So if you're not subscribed already, what are you doing? Do it. Big red button down below, little bell beside it. It's literally the easiest thing in the world. Do it. But yeah, all jokes aside, if you would subscribe to the channel, that would mean a massive amount to me. So without any further ado and shite talk, you can get that over on the podcast channel. Let's get into our boxes, shall we? Starting off with the green box, and a bit of an unorthodox one this week. I'm going to give the green box for the best performance of the week to Chelsea loanee at Crystal Palace, Conor Gallagher. Gallagher scored twice in Crystal Palace's 3-1 win at Selhurst Park over Everton, the second of which was an absolute beauty to seal the game late on. A goal that really, I personally cannot wait to try and recreate in the December recreations.
Oh, but Aaron, you have to get the November recreations done first.
I know. There's been problems, alright? We've not been able to record November recreations for a multitude of reasons. It just keeps going wrong. But anyway, Gallagher, apart from his 2 goals, just put in an unbelievable display. His passing range, his vision, and of course that unbelievable finish. I think when he comes back to Chelsea, I hope Chelsea keep him on and don't put him out on loan or don't sell him, because I do think he could be a very valuable asset to the squad from next season. I think he's grown as a player massively during his time at Palace this season, and it's been one of the main reasons why they've made such a good start under Patrick Vieira. So I can't wait to see, hopefully, Conor Gallagher donning the blue shirt of Chelsea from next season onwards. There was a lot of question marks. Obviously, he was at West Brom last season, didn't really quite work from there, but he's now in a Palace side with, let's be honest, more talented players than he was with at West Brom. But he was absolutely brilliant. He gets the green box for this week. And as for Everton on the other side of the spectrum, I mean, it looked like they might have been turning a corner when they beat Arsenal last week. A very impressive win for them there. But realistically, things just don't seem to be improving under Rafa Benitez. The fans aren't happy. They're not, their morale isn't improving as the weeks go on, and it's because the results aren't getting better. Obviously, the Arsenal game was a great performance and a great victory, but they were quite poor against Palace, I'm not going to lie. You think of that Tompkins goal in particular, Palace's second goal, he just left completely unmarked around the back post. I mean, the lead up as well to the Gallagher second goal, I mean, it's poor from Seamus Coleman. I love Seamus Coleman, obviously Irish captain. That was really poor the way he cleared that. I think Andre Gomez then with a poor touch, but take nothing away from a brilliant performance and a brilliant finish by Conor Gallagher. Green box for this week. Good on you, son. Yellow box of the week then, and it's never dull when Chelsea are around. Not this season. Unbelievable game against Leeds United, and Chelsea's patchy form in December just seems to be continuing. Yes, I know we got the win, but goodness me, that performance was nowhere near the best that we know Chelsea are capable of. I was in work at the time on Saturday, and I seen probably the last 15 minutes of the first half and probably the first 15 minutes of the second half. So I seen Mason Mount's goal to equalise for Chelsea. Then I seen Jorginho's penalty to put Chelsea in front. All that after Rafinha had put Leeds in front after a clumsy tackle by Marcus Alonso and Daniel James in the penalty area. Penalty well converted by Rafinha, but Edouard Mendy just doesn't save penalties. I think I've accepted that at this point. The young striker Joe Gelhardt, who I've been really impressed with since he's come into the Leeds team. Obviously he's had to fill in for Patrick Bamford here and there, who's had a lot of injuries at the start of this season, but a really good finish from him after the ball in by Tyler Roberts made it 2-2, and then another penalty from Jorginho in the 94th minute made it Chelsea 3, Leeds United 2. An unbelievable game of football, but I do think Chelsea incredibly lucky. I think both penalties very suspect. I think Rudiger goes down very easily for both of them. The first one I've still not really got my mind made up on. Does Rafinha get a bit of the ball? I'm not sure. The second one, I mean, he doesn't get the ball. Mateus click from behind, but goodness me, I mean, Rudiger goes down very easily. Very easily. I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm delighted Chelsea won the game, but I think in the circumstances, Leeds will be very, very disappointed with the way that they've lost in the end, because I think both penalties very, very suspect. But Chelsea, something's just not clicking at the minute. The performances have been really poor. Obviously, the game against Leeds was, or not Leeds, against Zenit, rather, in the Champions League in the week was absolutely like horrendous. Like, I know it was 3-3, but just too many players not playing well at the minute. I think we're defensively poor, and I think a lot of that comes down to the fact that we have a lot of injuries in the midfield area. We're missing Kovacic, we're missing Kante. I'm not going to blame Jorginho for any of this at the minute, to be honest. I think he's not been great recently. He wasn't great in the West Ham game. Obviously rested against Zenit in the week, and against Leeds I think he was very much on his own. I love Ruben Loftus-Cheek. I love to see that he's back in a Chelsea jersey, but at the same time I'm starting to notice that he can be a little bit brainless in this system when he's forced to do defensive work. He tends to dive in, he tends to make the wrong decisions a lot of the time, and it's something that I'm sure Thomas Tuchel could coach into him, but at this crucial point in the season we need somebody in there that's solid. Hopefully Kovacic will be back for the midweek game against Everton on Thursday, but if not, it could be trouble. Because the Everton game, I know I've just been criticising Everton in the last box, and in recent weeks I've been criticising Everton a lot, but it was their game against us last season, and funnily enough the game we have after Everton, Wolves. Both games were around this time last year, and I didn't make videos about them at the time because I was working. I'm still working, but you know what, the commitment is there, lads, so there will be videos about the Everton and Wolves games. I have been working for the last 2 weeks, I know.
Sure, that Aaron Kelly fella wouldn't work on batteries.
But I actually have genuinely been working the last 2.5 weeks, so I have actually not seen the Everton game in full, I've not seen the Wolves game in full, and I didn't see last night's West Ham game in full, but I have seen all the highlights. Hopefully Chelsea will be in the green box for both of them. But there were 2 games last season that I feel like we lost, and it really threw away the season for us in the end in the league, and threw us off massively, and December has been patchy so far, to say the least. If we manage to scrape wins there, I think it'll go a massive way to keeping Chelsea in the title race, because at the minute it's just about keeping pace with Liverpool and Manchester City. Moving on to our last box of the week then, our stinker of the week, and I was considering giving it to Raul Jimenez after his sending off against Manchester City, but looking back on it I actually thought it was a little bit harsh to give him 2 yellow cards within 30 seconds. When I first heard that had happened, I thought, right, stinker material, Raul Jimenez, unlucky lad, but you're in the stinker box. But no, I actually thought he was quite unlucky to be sent off, so I'm going to give the stinker box to Newcastle this week, and 1 win in their first 16, hammered by Leicester at the weekend, and again, just further emphasising the amount of work that Eddie Howe has to do with this team, and the sheer multitude of signings that they're going to have to make in January. I think they have 150 million to spend in January. They have to spend it in the right areas. I don't think the kind of players they're looking for, the Ross Barkleys, Dele Allis, I don't think these kind of players are going to really help Newcastle massively in the long run when it comes into the run-in at the end of the season. But they were just awful again at the weekend. Patson Daka, Yuri Tielemans scoring twice, and James Maddison on the score sheet as well, and a massive win for Leicester, who needed it really after being knocked out of the Europa League by Napoli in the week. I don't know, lads. I don't think you can lose this amount of games so far in a season and expect to stay up. Stinker of the week for, I believe, is this Newcastle's first week in the box? How has it taken 16 weeks to put Newcastle in the stinker box? How has that happened? Anyway, lads, that's where I'm going to wrap it up. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. As I said, apologies, November recreation still isn't out. I've had a bit of a stinker. I could easily be put in the box myself this week. Hopefully going to record it this Saturday, and hopefully nothing goes wrong. With a bit of luck, it'll be out next week. I know, I keep saying that, but it will be out before the end of the month, so keep an eye out for it. So if you did enjoy this video, and if you disagree with any of the boxes, please do let me know in the comments section down below. Also leave a like on the video if you did enjoy. Subscribe, as I said at the beginning, if you did enjoy, and if you're new around here, of course, and I will catch you later.